Dr. Dan Gottlieb. Hi, Dr. Dan.
Hey, Rosie.
Dr. Dan, we're right in the middle right now of the Jewish holidays. And I know that a lot that surrounds the Jewish holidays talking about forgiveness. And I think that forgiveness is one of those things that some people just find so difficult to actually do. So let's talk about forgiveness today.
You know, it's funny. One of the phrases Webster uses in defining forgiveness is letting go of resentment. Because as long as you're holding resentment
You can't forgive.
against the other person, then you're in a relationship with that person. And you are carrying that person around with you. But it strikes me as we're talking now, letting go of resentment, it's those first two words that are so difficult.
Letting go.
Letting go. And that's the path to peace and well-being. It's letting go. Forgiveness is not condoning the behavior that hurt you. And in some respects, it's not even condoning the person. And sometimes you need to cut off that person, never speak to them again. Forgiveness, though, is letting go of resentment.
And I think that people do think that forgiving means that you're letting, let's talk about another person, forgiving another person, you're letting them off the hook. You're saying it's okay, but it's not.
So the reverse of that argument is that if you hold on to this resentment, you're keeping them somehow on a hook.
Right.
I hate to say this, but by and large, they don't give a care
That's right.
about it. And, you know, resentment is like poison. It's very much
It's toxic.
like poison. There's somebody that once said, I forget his name, famous rabbi, he said, holding on to resentment, he said, is like mud wrestling with a pig. He said, you'll both get dirty, but the pig's going to enjoy it. Holding on to resentment. Now, you know, this comes up all the time in couples.
Yes.
Where
You see it and I see it from the other side.
Yeah, where one feels betrayed by whatever. I mean, at the extremes, you know, it's an affair, but...
No, there's so many other little things that I find when I'm mediating a couple that's divorcing. A lot of the resentment comes out, and they're little things. It's something that somebody never did for anybody. You never brought me flowers. And they hold on to that.
Right.
Yeah.
Holding on to resentment, and you know, I call it the actuarial method of maintaining a marriage. So if I do this, then you do that. If I'm doing two of these and you're doing one, then, you know, I'm suffering, and it's not fair. Holding on to resentment in a marriage can destroy a marriage, and they come to therapy when it's too late, and they come to therapy when she says to me, tell him what an awful person he is, and he says to me, tell her what a pain in the ass she is, and getting hung up on little nothings.
Right. And they want to be validated.
Don't we all?
As if me telling the therapist that you were an awful husband is going to validate that, oh, it must be true.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it doesn't diminish the suffering.
No.
So where does forgiveness come in to play? And how in a marriage? First of all, you have to decide if you're going to be in a relationship with this person. And if you are, and let's work on this. Let's work on it. And and make a commitment to it. You can get through anything, almost anything,
If you're committed to it.
if you make a commitment.
Right.
So what I say to him, if he hurt her and they're still in a relationship, you have to be quiet and listen to her. Not blaming you for all the sins of the world, but listen to her as she talks about the pain that she has felt by virtue of what you've done. Feelings of abandonment or betrayal or beating herself up. You have to listen to this and be quiet. And then you have to talk to her about her experience and make sure you understand what you've done. And have her make sure that you get what she's experienced. And then apologize to her. And then you can promise that you'll do your best to never hurt her in that way again. So that's what can happen in the interaction. But if there's no one to interact with,
Yeah.
forgiveness is more difficult. And it's a question of self-care.
Mm-hmm.
It's a question of self-care. Do you want to stay in relationship with that person?
Right.
Let go of resentment. Let go and let go. And you do it a millimeter at a time. You do it a day at a time, and you fall back and you move ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know,
It's a process.
if you are committed
Yes.
to doing this work, to letting go of the resentment, you'll get there.
And I think that is, if you had to pick a magic word, it's the commitment. And the moving forward, and it maybe just be a millimeter at a time. And like you said, taking step back. I think where people get caught into it is that they think that because they start it, when couples start couples therapy, they're going to get immediate results when they've perhaps been married 20, 25 years and this has been going on that long. It's kind of like the person who wants to lose weight, who has gained 50 pounds and thinks that they're going to lose weight in a week.
Right.
So, but you have to stay committed. And if you're not, then you have to think about it and possibly let go in another way.
Right. It's about devotion to the relationship, to one's own welfare, and to this person who you made a commitment to once, to love forever. All these things come into play. And no matter what, let go of that resentment. It's killing you.
Mm-hmm.
It's hurting you. Let go and let go. Be kind to yourself. Don't let those toxins go throughout your body like that.
Wonderful message on forgiveness. Thank you.
Thank you.